Hello everyone, this is our third lecture of the Federalism chapter from 10th standard Civics. So today here we will be discussing the last topic, that is decentralization in India. Previously we have covered the topic like what is federalism, definition of federalism. Then we have also seen in the last lecture features of the federalism and how India practices the federalism. Three factors we have seen: language policy, center-state relation and linguistic policy. And today we will be doing only the last topic of this chapter, that is decentralization in India. First of all, you should know what is meant by the decentralization. Anyone know this? What it means? That decentralization means the power is given to the other level of the government other than the center. Suppose for example, just see the first diagram, this one. What happens? Suppose this is center, and from the center power is derived to different areas. Okay, so from this diagram it means that center is the more powerful area, and from the center power is deriving to the other areas. But when you're moving to the other diagram, that is decentralization diagram, suppose this is center, it has been divided into branches. Like suppose from center power gone to this area, then from here it gone to this area, here. So it means it is creating the branches, and it will be grounded, like it will be very easy for the people to come up or to be in a touch of the government. For example, if here only its center is there, the main authority, and here the village or the states are there, so of all the state is very difficult to come with every cases to the center or to come with every demand to the center. But here in the decentralization, what happens? If they are having the branches and this one is center, and if they are having the branches, so this, suppose this is a society or any organization, so they need to just contact to this person or this dot. Okay, and this dot will bring the decision to the center. So this is a path of governing the system or making the decision or coming up to the decision. So this system becomes the very easy, because here each and every public or the people get the right to participate in the decision making body or to participate in the governance system. But this possibility is very less in the centralization. So we prefer the decentralization. So here we are having the last topic, decentralization in India. It means that power is taken away from the central and state government and given to the local government, and it is called decentralization. Got the point? What it means? That power is taken from the central government and the state government, and it is given to the third level government or the third tier government, that is called local government, and that name is Panchayati Raj. What here it means? That for example, center is Delhi. For India, center is Delhi, and if we will be taking the example of Gujarat, center gives some power to the Gujarat state. Okay, but we are residing in our village, like for example the district is Valsad, Umargaon, Vapi. So here what it means? That if we the people citizens of this Gujarat or Valsad district are facing some of the problem, we will be not moving to the Delhi for taking any of the decision. First we will move to the Panchayati system. Okay, then we'll move to the district, then we'll move to the state, then we'll move to the center. So this is the route via we can go for any of the decision for the, if we want any demand from the government. So here what it means that we got a panchayati level which is very near to us, which is located in each and every village. So all the citizens can approach first to the panchayati level. So this power is given from the center and from the state to the panchayati level is known as a decentralization. Got it? Why the reason? What is the reason to do this? Because here very large number of populations are there, okay, and all the populations are having the many problems, many issue. So all the problems and all the issue cannot be taken every time to the center level or to the state level. There are some levels, like there are some problems which can be settled very well at the small level, or which can be settled at the village level, and in the panchayati raj. You might have seen that scene of Sarpanch sitting under the tree. That is very famous, like scene, Panch are there, five main peoples are there. All the village members get together there, and they will come up with some of the decision. So for example, like the village is having the water issue, okay. Water issue in the sense like the villagers are not getting the adequate amount of the water. So they will come for the decision first of all with the leader, that is Sarpanch. Then they will do the discussion, and they will come to the conclusion with the help of everyone who are the leader, even the villagers people, okay. So it is inculcating the democratic participation. The villagers people cannot go to the parliament, they cannot go to the center, they cannot go to the state government, but they can participate at the village level, and that's why it is called as a democratic participation. It inculcates the democratic participation, it enhances the democratic participation, okay. So this is the best way in which one can realize the important principle of democracy. We know that democracy means it is which gives a right to vote, which gives a right to participate, which gives a right to raise the voice, which gives the right to take the decision. So if these all things are there, definitely these are the features of the democracy. It means that it is enhancing the participation in the democratic country. As India is a democratic country, definitely this system has to be implemented, okay, so that each and every people can get the right to participate in the decision making body. And most of the peoples are residing in the village area. They don't have the source to communicate with the state governments, the central governments. So this level is the best level for the common people to come up and to raise their voice in the Panchayati Raj, and the leader of the Panchayati Raj will take the decision to the state level, or first they will take to the district level. Then from the district level it will go to the state level, then it will pass to the central level. This is a process how decision is taken from different tiers. Like for example, some of the village, every village requirement is different. Some villages are facing the problem in water, some villages are facing the problems about the education, some villages faces the problem about medical health care. So this all situation who discusses, the Sarpanch or the Panchayati seats, and they discuss and they take the matter to the high level, that is they will take to the districts, okay. Then this districts will take the matter to the state one, then from the state it derived to the center. So this is called the decentralization process. From one step to the other decision is taken, and from one step to other power is given, okay. Got it, this point? Now election to this local government were not held regularly. The India has decided to give the decentralization power to the local government, that is to establish the third level of government, that is Panchayati Raj. But if the election is not done regularly, then local government did not have any power or resources, okay. If they don't have any power, if the state government is not giving the power to them, even resources means in the sense like the revenue or the money, if they are not getting, how they are going to do the welfare for the village? Okay, so this was all the matter. So government is coming with the new amendment of the constitution, that is in 1992 it is coming with the constitution amendment. And what amendment they did is that now constitutionally mandatory to hold a regular election in the local body means at the village level or in the panchayati raj. There should be on the regular interval voting should be done, as we are having the state government voting, central government election voting, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha votings. So here also on the basis of regular interval voting should be done. Now, seats are reserved in the elected body and executive heads of the constituent. Now, ST, SC, ST, backward caste and even for the women seats are reserved, so that each and every sector of the society can participate in decision making things. Here, independent institution called the state election has been created, state to conduct panchayati and municipal elections. You should know that state election commission are only responsible for conducting the election of panchayati and municipal election, and election commissioner of India are responsible for Lok Sabha election, Rajya Sabha election and presidential selection elections. Okay, so after this all they come up with the system that we know that is Panchayati Raj system. Now if we will see a village, if we are saying a village, okay, and in the state there are group of, it doesn't mean ki if there is a one state in only one village will be there are multiples of village. Okay, so this village or these states are having the gram panchayat system. These are having the gram panchayat system, and this gram panchayat system are consisting of several ward members called panch, president or sarpanch. They are acting as a leader, and these people are not elected by the MLAs or the Lok Sabha members or nothing. They are just elected directly by the adult population living in that ward. It means that living in that village people select this leader or select this sarpanch. Got clear? Moving to here, now from here you will have the clear idea. This is Panchayati Raj system is known as the third tier governance system, and it is one of the factor of federal structure. Union means central level government, state means at a state level government. From state level it is bifurcated into a third tier, that is Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj system is at the village level. Municipality system is at the urban level. Okay, so here group of villages make the Jilla Parishad, and group of Jilla Parishad makes the block of Taluka Panchayat. Okay, and here municipality is like municipality areas are somewhat developed area. Here Panchayati Raj is like it can be called as it is implemented in the rural area, it is implemented in the urban area. Now here it is also having the parts like municipal corporation, municipal council, Nagar Panchayat and all. Let's see, you will have the clear idea about this. Moves to our page of NCERT. Here you will see that the group of villages makes the panchayati. A few gram panchayat are grouped together to form what is usually called a panchayat smiti or block or a mandal. Okay, and member of this representative bodies are elected by all the panchayat members in that area. All the panchayat samitis or mandals in that district together constitute and they make the district parishad. You're getting? All the small villages, they get together and they make the panchayat, gram panchayat, and all this gram panchayat, small gram panchayat, they come together and they make the district parishad. and most of the member of the district parishad are elected. The member of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of that districts are having some officials of the district level bodies also its member. It means that in the district parishad there are some of the members from the Lok Sabha, or it can be called as the MLA, member of legislative assembly. Jila Parishad's chairperson is the political head of the Jila Parishad. Similarly, it is only this Jila Parishad Gram Panchayat is for the village system, village governance system. Similar things happen for the urban area also. We have seen in the last slide that municipalities are set up in towns, and in the big cities are constituted into corporation, municipal corporation. Here we have seen that municipalities are for the urban areas, municipal corporations are for the big cities. So here both municipalities and municipal corporation are controlled and elected by the people's representative. They are also having the people representative, as here in the district parishad we have the MLA or some of the members from the Lok Sabha. Here also leaders are there, and this chairperson of municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipalities, and municipal corporations officer is known as mayor. Okay, got clear? So this was some of the system which is executed at the village level, where the peoples are more. We know that most of the Indian peoples are residing at the village level. Okay, maximum of the population are residing at the village level, so they also want some support from the government side. They cannot every time they cannot go to the state government or to the central government. They want some small system which is close to their home, which is close to their village, which is close to their area. Like suppose sudden cases arises, or sudden help they need. Suppose quarrel has occurred between the family or between the neighbor or in the village. So who will be the solution maker here? Here definitely the panchayat will sit together on the decided day and they will make out the decision. So and they will come to the conclusion. So here matter is sorted at the village level. So there is no need to reaching to the state government or the central government. So this gives the benefit, this saves their time, the even like many things are saved, because village people, they don't have that much money to approach the state government as well as the central government. So this from all around, this is the best way for the village people to sort out their problems at the small level, and this will enhance the peace and harmony in the village, and even people that will get the participation in the decision making body of governance system, and it will enhance the democratic participation. Thank you so much. Here we are ending with the federalism chapter. If you are still confused with the topics what we have explained, just go through from the starting lecture about the federalism definition, features of definition, then how the federalism is practiced, then come to the decentralization in India, this topic, and definitely this all lectures will make you understand very well this chapter. Thank you so much.